Welcome to Unbiased. I'm your humble host, Will. Back at you with another video. Please like and share, subscribe on the platform. We're trying to grow. So let's get straight to it. This is part two of Snakes and Chameleons. So let's get to it. I don't know if y'all remember, I think it was like a couple years ago now, Cat Williams did that famous interview with Shannon Sharp. He was saying people were going to get exposed, and he proved that to be right. And it's still going on. It's still going on. Not just famous people, because that's what he was talking about, but I looked at it as a whole, as a totality. Is that we got pastors out here getting exposed for not living a holy life like they claim to be doing. You supposed to be a man of God, and you out here not living the life you're supposed to be preaching about and teaching us about and showing us an example of what a man of God's supposed to be, right? And then you got their wives who not doing the same thing either. You know, they out here doing whatever. They dressing. The wife don't even know how to dress modestly anymore, and so are the women of the church. They're not doing it either. So it's crazy now. Church used to be a holy sanctuary. It's not anymore. Uh, it's becoming a clown show at some churches, not all churches, but some churches are becoming a clown show. And that's why, Drewski ended up making the video that he made. He highlighted that. And, church people, they took offense to it. And it was crazy that they took offense to it because it was a joke. But it was also kind of like he was doing real acts that really, really happened. He was just, recreating it on a bigger scale. And they were like he was offending, God or whatever, but he wasn't offending God. He was just showing what people look like, pastors look like when they out there, putting on a show. When they putting on a show, because that's basically what they were doing. They're putting on a show. Like I said, church folk got offended by it, but at the same time, y'all got so offended by that, but y'all don't get offended when the pastor is sleeping with everybody in the church. Y'all don't get offended by that. As long as he's got people coming in and spending money and putting the church on TV and stuff, that's all y'all care about. But that ain't how it's supposed to go. So y'all supposed to get offended about everything. And the pastor sleeping with church members is supposed to be one of them. You got the pastor also, being gay, but he's married to a wife and got kids. He got kids with his wife, but he's turning around and he's gay. People need to highlight that as well. Pay attention to that, but they overlook that too. They like it is what it is. But it's wild out here, and I'm gonna keep it going, man, because this is this is stupid. That's why a lot of people start backing away from churches. Like I said, all churches are not like this. There's only some churches, but they do highlight these mega churches who are doing all this and then, getting all your money. They want to see how much money you're making so they can put it in their tithes and offering and all that. It's supposed to be uh, up to the giver to give amount whatever they have. You know, you putting a set amount on people. But, like I said, this is crazy. These snakes and chameleons. You can't believe with everything you see. You have to look at it with your spiritual eye. If you walk in that church and you don't feel the Holy Ghost, and you see how the church members are moving around, and they, that's probably not the church for you. And then you also got to watch the people who pray for you, at these churches, because I grew up in the church as well, and once I walk up on Pastor Scott and other members of the church who I knew was living the life like they supposed to live it, you will feel the Holy Ghost on them. You will feel it. You'll feel that aura. Not to say they're God or anything, but you'll feel that they're a man of God, and a woman of God. You know they got something on their life, but you also walk up to somebody, you don't feel anything. You walk up to somebody, you don't feel anything. And they trying to pray over you. And they supposed to be praying for you, but they might be praying against you. So you have to watch that. People, people are jealous. Like I said, the devil will use anybody, you know. So, and he always in church. The devil doesn't miss a service in church. Remember that. You don't miss any any services. All right. So, uh, the main thing, when it comes to uh, you know, temptation and stuff, man, just people need to tell the truth. I'm telling the truth. I don't care who don't like it or not. I'm gonna tell the truth. And try to expose this stuff too, and just highlight it. I'm not really exposing. I'm just really just highlighting and putting it in your head that like, hey, we were right. I need to pay attention. I need to use my spiritual eye. People out here living wicked. You know, just pay attention to it. So let me get to the destruction part. This is the last part that the devil does do, and it's the most destructive one because he's trying to destroy you. All right, so as y'all know in the news, some people don't know that Cuba is collapsing over there, and the United States have a lot to do with that, right? They have no electricity in their country. They got no running water. They got food spoiling because it's not getting refrigerated. Those people, they living tough, man. They living tough, and it was when I saw it. I think it was like a week ago. I think I saw it on YouTube, and I couldn't stomach it. I'm like, dang, man, them people, it's kids, parents, older folks. They even said people in the hospital don't have electricity. You got cancer patients. Oh, looking like they finna go. And it's sad that our country got something to do with it. And this is what people voted for. They voted for Trump to do this crazy. I don't think they thought he was gonna do all this, but these folks voted for him. I didn't vote for him. You know, I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I grew up as a Democrat, and I started seeing what Democrats are doing. I became an independent. So I'm an independent thinker, and I know for a fact, and I know a lot of y'all who watching that people are not putting up with this. They're not cool with seeing Cuba go through what they go through. Going what they're going through, right? Um, they just don't let you know that we're living in a wicked world, man. Living in a wicked world. Now back over here in the United States, you know, you got these YNs don't care about nobody life. They out here just having middle of the week shootouts in the middle of the street. They shooting up people funeral homes or funeral services. They just if they feel like they in beef. They mean it's on site. It's on site. They shooting people, and they really don't care. It's all about respect. They have no respect, for anybody. They don't have respect for themselves. They don't care about your life. They don't care about their life. They just out here wilding out, and they think it's all fun and games until they get behind the bars or the stuff that they doing be on the receiving end of it. You know? And then the first thing they want to holler, oh Lord, oh Lord. No, it's too late. You let the devil play with you. Play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. It's just the way it is. And everybody know how the street go. You live by it, you gonna die by it. It's just the way it is. Let me see what else I got. Oh yeah, people in Congress, and it's the thing about the guns in the streets. We done seen this a bunch of times. Schools get shot up, churches get shot up, stores, all type of stuff getting shot up, and they keep using all these automatic weapons. And people. This one thing I can agree with the Democrats. They did try to push an amendment, but it got voted down because I did learn on both sides, Democrats and Republicans are getting paid by the NRA, and they don't want to lose that type of money. There's a lot of people buying automatic weapons, but you don't really need a military type of weapon on the streets, but they're using it. And it's crazy because they care more about the amendment the right to bear arms, then they care about people's lives out here in the street. Sad. I say this is a wicked world, bro. It's a wicked boy. It's a wicked world. And then, oh yeah, and then people shoot up jobs. They shoot up jobs, and you got people who are in charge at these jobs. We ain't seen many times. They bully people. They talk crazy to people, and then people snap. They go off and do things, and they be like, "Oh man, we didn't know what was going on," but y'all, majority of the time, these people know what's going on. They know these people who are in charge of bullying people. They have documents on it, but they try to cover their butts by, you know, trying to say their job and saying they ain't know anything about it, but they did. We ain't had too many incidents where people get shot at these jobs or get to fighting at these jobs, and they jumping on they managers, team leaders, or whoever, supervisors. They jumping on them. Then you got other people who work their butts off and get a position, and they go through the most hell. They go through the most hell, and it's crazy because the good had to suffer with the bad, but the good people they be working their ass off and doing what they need to do. Then you got people who talk about them or lie on them or get them fired. Just backstabbing them because they jealous or they hate that person and they want their spot so bad they'll lie on them or someone take it there and take you out just to get your spot. So you just had to pay attention to what's going on out here. And then you got some people who ain't qualified for their spot, but they slept with the boss to get the spot. And it's crazy that you'll sell your basically you said to me you selling your soul, you selling your body for a position. They let you know you don't have no self-respect, you don't have no dignity, you don't have no pride in yourself to get it out the mud. They don't want it. They want to, do wild things to jump up there and get a position. And you know what I'm saying? This is crazy. And I hate when people, younger people, that I haven't heard them saying it this year, but people all were saying it last year and the year before last that they on demon time. And I look at them and tell them, you don't even know what you're talking about because if you on demon time, you do know if you die right now and go to hell, it's other demons there and they torturing other demons. Do know that, right? That's why my mama always say you can't always say you bad and think nobody's gonna do nothing to you because there's always somebody out there much better and worse than you. You know, people don't look at it like that. They think they could beat anybody. Everybody ain't out here just undefeated like Floyd Mayweather. People can caught some L's too. So that's why I don't go out, talking crazy, talking tough all the time, trying to prove something. I just stay in my lane. If something come, I just know how to handle it. But the Bible always said, it's gonna be rumors of wars and things of that nature. But if we ever get out of this mess with Iran, we still got to look at, enemies of Russia, China, or North Korea, because they're gonna be looking now because they see us what we doing with Iran, fighting Israel war basically, and they watching, they looking and seeing what that's going on. But I think in my eyes of how the world end over, I'm well gone. I don't want to go through it. But I remember watching a movie Purge, and I was like, that could happen because it's basically like a civil war. And then Elon Musk is creating these robots, and people was talking about the robots could turn and have their own way of thinking, and it could be like Terminator. They destroying us. You got uh aliens. People say these aliens real, and I do believe aliens are real, and I believe they are here already here on Earth. We don't know how this how they move or nothing. Because you got people saying they got snake people out here, and they just a chameleon. They know how to take our face or take a face. It's just like a bad sci-fi movie, man. This is the world we living in. Is a bad sci-fi movie. It's crazy. So in closing, all I'm gonna say is we need to get right. It's time to get right. Everybody need to get closer to God. If you don't know God, you need to get to know Him. We're living in the last days, people. You should realize that if you pay attention, the storms they've been going through this year and from last year, it seems like the storms getting worse and worse. You got all these winter storms. It's basically like a hurricane, but it's throwing out so much snow and ice, like a blizzard. You know what I'm saying? Then when they get warm, we got these bad tornadoes destroying everything, floods. Uh, then hurricane season comes. It's like the hurricanes come one after one after another, one after another, one after another. Y'all need to wake up, man. And then don't even forget about people on the West Coast, California. They dealing with the wildfires when they get so hot. They don't get no rain, and stuff just burning up, and it won't stop burning up. They can't stop it. So I say we need to get it right, man. These videos are not a doom and gloom. Again, it's not a doom and gloom video. Both of them, they just to wake people up and make them pay attention to what's going on around them. And like I said, get right with God. Get right. I'm not a preacher, but I do know, and everybody should know. You need God to be on your side. You definitely need Him on your side. You definitely want Him to be against you, or He just say you out there by yourself and you going one on one against the devil because you're not going to win. You're not going to win. So that's all I got in this video. I'm praying for everybody. Everybody should be blessed. And I'll catch you on another video. Welcome to Unbiased. Welcome to Unbiased.